Nikki Haley standing by comments that she made supporting the jury in writer E. Jean Carroll's $83 million defamation verdict against Donald Trump. Take a look at what she had to say on Fox News yesterday.
You're taking some new fire from Donald Trump's campaign and supporters for what you said about the E. Jean Carroll case on Meet the Press yesterday. Of course, the president was found liable in that case. A jury awarded her $83.3 million. Here's what you said when you were asked about it.
I absolutely trust the jury, and I think that they made their decision based on the evidence.
So the New York Times wrote an article around that in which it said, in part, quote, 4 weeks before what could be the decisive Republican primary in South Carolina, Ms. Haley is trying to navigate an extremely narrow and treacherous path, finding a way to diminish Mr. Trump's hold on her party's electorate without decisively turning conservative voters against her the way they have destroyed other Trump critics. How do you navigate that path, Governor?
It cracks me up that people trying to overanalyze. I just tell the truth as I see it. I think there have been politics played with prosecutors that have brought on some of these cases. I think there's been politics played even with the judges. But I do think American juries still get it right. They listen to the evidence. They make the decision based on the evidence. And I do still trust any American that sits on a jury. I trust that they're making the right decision.
Well, we just have to. I mean, that is the center of our judicial system. You have to trust fellow voters that get in a jury pool, and sometimes they seem to get it right, and sometimes they seem to get it wrong. But you have to have faith in the system that more often than not, they get it right.
Well, compare
it's a constitution.
That to Republican senators who defended Trump last spring after he was found liable for sexual assault and defamation. In the words of Marco Rubio at that time, quote, "That jury is a joke. The whole case is a joke."
Jen, can you imagine
Really?
that? I mean, can you? I guess we can imagine 6 years later, but any United States senator, and they do it, they will trash any institution that checks Donald Trump's absolute lust for absolute power. And in this case, Marco Rubio called a jury a joke. Marco Rubio, who wasn't in the courtroom, didn't hear any of the evidence, didn't have any of the judge's instructions, didn't know what the law was in that particular case. And again, just attack the judge, attack the jury system, attack American democracy, attack whatever it takes to lift up Donald Trump.
Yeah, and Trump saying that it's part of a Biden witch hunt, even though it's happening in, wholly independently of Biden. And this case was filed in 2019 before Joe Biden was president. I think it's important that, Haley walks a fine line, and she never criticizes Trump at the foundation of what he, she'll never go to the conduct.
Right.
Right. She won't go that far. She won't go to the conduct on the Jan 6 cases or on the Mar-a-Lago case or on the E. Jean Carroll case. But to defend the jury, that's like defending the election. That's defending, that's defending the process. That's actually an important thing. It's important for Republicans to hear this. It's important for Republicans and swing voters and independents to hear a Republican say, to attack Trump, and for a Republican to uphold the jury system.
Well, Richard, it was always conservatives who were supposed to defend institutions, going all the way back to Edmund Burke, who talked about how, radical zealots could tear down institutions in a day that were built up over centuries of time. And here you have, ironically, the same people that were running around defending institutions in the late 60s and early 70s that were under attack from the far left. Now they're the ones attacking those same institutions that are foundational to this republic.
That's what's stunning about it. The idea that what Nikki Haley's saying is in any way remarkable. This is pure American classic conservatism, trial by jury. It's an institution. That's what conservatives used to believe in. And the Republican Party has so strayed from conservatism. It's become a populist, personalist party, and this is the consequence.
Well, and just think about how dangerous the consequences will be now that we have a Texas governor.
Yes.
Just saying,
So
I'm going to ignore a Supreme Court ruling. See, because we talk about all the dangers that Donald Trump poses. That's one of them. Donald Trump, if he gets into power again, He's going to be Orban. He's going to, you know, I don't think he's going to even try to do what Netanyahu is trying to do in Israel. I think he's just going to go straight there, and he's going to ignore the Supreme Court's rulings. And then we have a constitutional crisis of the first order.
Yeah, Republicans suggesting they get to pick and choose which Supreme Court decisions they want to abide by or not is so dangerous. I think we're going to see in the year ahead, as these Trump legal cases move forward and decisions come down against him, we will see them reject those and move forward. Even before Trump were to get in office, and to your point where he elected again, I do think that would all go out the window. He will just simply do what he wants. And I think this is part of that argument, that the democracy argument that the President Biden is trying to make, and the Biden team, Willie, thinks that it is important, to Tamika's point, that like Republicans are hearing this from Nikki Haley. I mean, that's the bare minimum. Yeah. Nikki Haley is doing the bare minimum. That's a low bar to clear, but she did clear it. And she's doing it in places like on Fox, where Republicans, viewers who love Trump, are hearing it maybe for the first time. They're not going to listen to Joe Biden say it.
It's such a commentary in the state of the Republican Party that to stop and congratulate Nikki Haley for supporting the jury system in America. But here we are.